Ahoy, ya swabs! Captain Jeff the Pirate here, at your service. And welcome to a, hopefully, on-time review and then questioning of Adventure Time. Today's episode, Elemental. If I'm gonna get this posted right, this review will be taking place the day after the episode was aired. So I got to warn you, this be super heavy spoilery, because I'm trying to get back on the track with this. Also, for your enjoyment, I will be placing, because this episode involves the Elementals, I'll be placing a picture from the Enchiridion / Marcy's Secret Scrapbook picture somewhere here on the screen, probably next to me. I own the book, so I was able to take a photograph and post it here. But I do not own the imagery, I did not make any of this, so I'm just posting a picture of my book, which is my property, that I have. Hey, I'm a pirate, but I'm still following the YouTube laws. Alright, and now, Elemental. The show opens with a great crime wave. Somebody be stealing all the wire coat hangers in the Candy Kingdom. The Banagars don't know what to do, so they call Princess Bubblegum, who in turn calls Finn and Jake. Interesting choice of use for your heroes there. And of course, this be the weird thing. They find out it's the Ice King. He's now upgraded to kidnapping wire hangers. So he explains what's going on. In his ice mountain lair, he has dropped his keys down this big crack, and he has to use all the wire hangers in the kingdom to get them out, which he'll then return. There'd be some weird light coming from the crack, so Finn and Jake dig down, and they find this huge ice catacomb. And there'd be this like solid ice, for lack of a better word, disco ball, giant ice sphere, and the ice be very strong, stronger than anything ice that the Ice King has ever made. And it busts open, and inside it'd be like a sailboat, and this woman says, "Did it work? Am I in the future? What year is this?" And Finn be like, no one keeps track of that anymore. So we figure out the woman, her name is Patience St. Pym. She is the Ice Elemental. Now, for those of you who aren't in the know, there was an episode called Evergreen, where we saw the 4 elementals. The ice be Evergreen, and then we saw there was fire, candy, and slime. So, apparently, Simon's been the Ice King, so he's been the Ice Elemental for this kingdom for so long. So then, after revealing her identity, she needs to find the other 3 elementals, which Simon then blurts out it's all princesses, even though Finn and Jake wanted to keep it hush-hush. So she's like, alright, this next part may sound a bit sketchy, but I need you to bring them here, even if it's against their will. Kidnapping princesses? That's in me wheelhouse, that's up me alley. Good old Ice King. Finn and Jake are about to protest, but she actually freezes them. Her ice powers be a bit more impressive than Simon's, though granted he had been doing ice digging all day, so he's a little off. So he successfully is able to capture a Slime Princess, Flame Princess, and Princess Bubblegum. He brings them back to the ice cave, and she sends him off to go get a drink. She unthaws them, and she's, well, partially, and says, "You're the Elementals, you're reincarnated, and you can... See how I created this ice chair? You can do it too!" She holds up Slime Princess's hand and Princess Bubblegum's hand. Slime Princess shoots out slime, Princess Bubblegum shoots out candy. Kind of like what we saw from the Candy Man from Evergreen. Flame Princess, literally, metaphorically, and figuratively, isn't doing too hot. She's like, I got to lie down. So then we reveal the story. Apparently, Patience St. Pym, she was actually in the modern times, the normal days. She was the incarnation of ice. And she says as long as there's been life on this planet, there's always been the 4 incarnations of slime, ice, fire, and candy. So, apparently Adventure Time be taking its cues now from Avatar, The Last Airbender. So, here's what. Then we see that all 3 of them in human form meet in a coffee shop, and they figure out that their doom is upon them. And the Ice Elemental be like, we could freeze ourselves and just ride this out and not be destroyed. But the other 3 are like, nah, we should accept our fate. So this be an interesting thing. Of the 2 times we've seen the fire elementals together, in Evergreen and in this episode, It always appears that the ice elemental is seeking some form of self-preservation or self-survival, while the other three seem to be perfectly alright with them going extinct, dead, up in smoke. But their elements shall live on and be reincarnated. Not taking this, St. Pim takes a sailboat out into the water, makes the sphere, and sinks just as the lich bomb goes off. Which makes me wonder how the geography, the landscape, and the seascape may have changed over the 1,000 years leading up to the... or somehow how the Ice King was involved in reshaping the landscape because of all the ice and the landscape and whatnot there. So, she's like, we can now get the band back together. So then she's trying to take a picture with her cell phone and slips and causes some wood to break out the flying princess. She uses the wood to heat herself back up, melts the others out of their ice entrapments, and the slime princess slimes St. Pim to the wall. They all escape and Simon proceeds to start to help her down. To which she then vows that she has some big plans coming, and Simon finds his keys. Now this be interesting. I think 1,000 years of being frozen in isolation, she may have had been able to do some actions. As we see, she's making some wire figures from the coat hangers. But to put this nicely, I think Patience St. Pim, her brain may have suffered a little freezer burn damage, if you catch my drift. She may be a little... So this be interesting. Like I said, there's like an avatar thing going on, and like I've said, all the ice elementals seem to be self-preservating. They want to keep alive. So in the 1,000 years since the Lich Bomb went off, the Ice King has been acting as sort of a proxy ice elemental, because lest we forget, Evergreen did make the crown, and it was when Guntar first put it on, he wanted to be like Evergreen, so Evergreen being the ice elemental. So that did kind of that lasted him for over the 1,000 years. Let's see, Fire Princess, Fire and Ice Princess, Fire Princess and Ice King are the ones that are able to like shoot stuff from their hands and create. As for Slime Princess, I don't think this was brought before, but slime. And as for Bubblegum, this be interesting. She be a woman of the science. She has created all this, but not just from her hand. She's actually used science and technology to make life itself, among other things. So this be interesting to see how is she going to react with now she knows that she is a magical avatar embodiment. So this will be interesting how she plays that out. And it'll be interesting how they answer this in the next episode. And oh, what's this? On the horizon, at the end of the credits, it be the Ice King giving us another story of Cake and Fiona. Either he be telling this to the ice avatar, or this is supposed to be like a buffer, a packaging break between what we're going to do now with Patience St. Pim. I'm not sure if her real name is Patience, or if she adopted that name for waiting 1,000 years. And as for St. Pim, I'm not sure if she really is a patron saint. I'm not sure how saints and canonization work in this universe. But like I said, this be interesting. Now we have the Ice Elemental and an Acolyte / Proxy Ice Elemental. So we have 2 Ice Elementals. And we have the other 3, so we have 5 elementals in total. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And if the Lich / Sweet Pea, somehow if that comes back into play. Or if there'll be another comet. I thought this was a really interesting episode. There now be 4 people from the modern normal days, the pre-Mushroom War, here in Land of Oo. Betty, currently don't know what her psychological state is or where she is physically. Simon and Marcy, both who have aged in various ways, shapes, and forms, who were actually around for that. And St. Pim, who was also there, but then froze herself in chrono-freezing stabilization. This be a really good episode. It'd be very funny, and it gives us some questions and answers, which I'm really enjoying, and I'm now wondering how Cake and Fiona will interact with that, or if they won't, and what will be coming up for the rest of possibly this season and maybe into next season. Like I said, this was huge spoiler territory. I'm sorry for it, but you have got to watch this episode. Me describing it can't do it justice, but you have got to watch it. And I hope you enjoyed the image of the 4 elementals I brought from the Adventure Time, Marceline, Secret Diary, Enchiridion. So I am happy to give, I'm happy to give Elemental a solid 2 thumbs up. Watch it. It'd be very good. It'd be very, very good. And if you watched all this before seeing the episode, I apologize for the spoilers, but ye be warned at the start of the video. I even probably put text by now at this point in post-production. Alright, that's all the time we have for this episode. Till next time, this be Captain Jeff's reviewing and questioning Adventure Time. I hopefully am now back on track, me and everyone else on this channel, saying thank you for watching, and as always, arrgh!